A little bit of room had done the trick, and I've gotten this completely separated. And what I'm doing as I'm lifting up with my engine puller is I'm just kind of pushing this away from the transmission so it's not hitting and binding, and I'm also, checking as I go to see what I've gotten left unhooked. Look like there may be a hose there or so, but we'll for the most part everything is disconnected. I just want to make sure I keep this pushed away so this is not hitting, because it's not exactly balanced. So we're going to go ahead and lift this thing on up and unhook this hose right here. You can see this vacuum run right in there. We're going to go ahead and disconnect that as well. Okay, I wanted to show you what I had done since last time. There was a bolt that's going, let's see if I could even get down to this thing. There was one that I missed. I believe it was right in behind here. It's basically on this nub right here, except it was coming from the other side, from the inside. And there's actually two of them, one on each side. Let me show you. There's one that I've missed. I can show you on this engine that's out a lot easier, and I can film under there. Now down at the bottom of your oil pan, showing you've got a bolt that's bolting into the transmission here, and there's one on the other side of this. Well, you also, up above, you've got one here. Now this one's going to be the most difficult to get to, and I'll show you. So as you come over here and you try to look, you can't even see through here, so it's going to be way back in there. So this bracket right here, I've got my finger on, is going to have to come loose before I can proceed, and that's what I'm in the process of right now. Okay, I'm just going through this passenger tire well, and I'm working these bolts out on this bracket. I'm on the top one here. There's going to also be one right below this, right down here. I don't know if I can show you this. We're also going to have a bolt right below that. Now there's also going to be one, there's going to be a couple of bolts that are back farther over, and it's kind of difficult for me to show you in here because I can't get my camera in, but there's four here all together holding this bracket here to the engine block, and there was two bolting it to the transmission that we had taken out earlier, and you can see those shiny spots right there where we had taken those out. So once these four are removed, this whole bracket's going to come out of here. Okay, I removed the two of them from there and down there, and now I'm working on the two in the back. I'm working on the upper, and you can see about where my ratchet is positioned back there. And like I said, I'm working on getting that top one there, and then I'm going to move that ratchet down just a little bit and get that lower bracket bolt. Okay, I got those four removed, and they're laying right there. When I put those back, I'll have to put Loctite back on them. I found out there's one more. You can see it right here, the bottom of this oil pan, and I'm fixing to work on getting that out. Alright, now I've just removed this bracket out here, and with it out you can kind of see where those bolts were at. You can see the one hole up here on the left, and then the top ones, and then down there, and then we got the one that was going through the bottom of that oil pan. That gives you an idea kind of how they're sitting in there. Of course it's sitting in there like that, but they're located right there. There's four of them, and then the one on the bottom of the oil pan that I took loose. And now you can see it's opened up this spot here, and you can see a bolt Let me see if I can zoom in here. You can see that bolt right back there near the flywheel, right above the flywheel where the teeth are. You can see it right there. That's the one I got to get to. And I've got to get my long extension and get in here and try to get to this next. Okay, now what I've done here is I've just rigged up a lot of extensions, and I've got quite a few of them, and I've just went all the way down there to that bolt that I was showing you. And if you come right like I have through here on this side of this strut, you can get on it. It's a 15 millimeter, and you can get on it enough to get up in there to it. And see, I'm right on the head of it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish taking this last one loose here. And like I said, there's one on the other side. It's in, but you can get it from underneath, and I got that one earlier, but I'd forgotten it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this one out and see about getting this thing apart. Okay, and I just got that bolt out of there, and I had to use my magnet to fish that out of there. Alright, after I got that bolt out, I come up here and actually started separating this transmission. It's like it's all loose. See, I can just push it apart here now. So now I need to I'm just going to double check to make sure that I've got everything disconnected and check my clearance over here, and we're going to go ahead and try to get this out of here. Okay, the only thing that I've done is finish moving the bracket that holds the tensioner. I took the whole bracket off. I'll show you on this other motor what it looks like. It's just this right here. There's a couple bolts, one here and here, and then there's one right there on the bottom. I'd already had this off, so I just took the bracket completely off so I could clear up some more room here, because it's still as is. I can't get enough room so far, so I'm going to go ahead and see if that will give me enough room. A little bit of room had done the trick, and I've gotten this completely separated. And what I'm doing as I'm lifting up with my engine puller is I'm just kind of pushing this away from the transmission so it's not hitting and binding, and I'm also, you know, checking as I go to see what I've gotten left unhooked. Look like there may be a hose there or so, but we'll for the most part everything is disconnected. I just want to make sure I keep this pushed away so this is not hitting, because it's not exactly balanced. So we're going to go ahead and lift this thing on up and unhook this hose right here. Probably just, you can see this vacuum run right in there. We're going to go ahead and disconnect that as well. Up here for clearance, I noticed that my hood latch was in the way, so I've just taken it loose. It was a couple of 8 millimeters going in here and here, and I just took those out for clearance. And right now I'm just, you know, watching things and you know, can't stress enough to make sure everything's disconnected before you just go to yanking stuff. You know, double check. You don't want to break any vacuum lines, snap any of your other stuff. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just moving stuff as need be, and you can see how much I've got it up here, and hopefully we'll get it on out of here in a second. I may even have to do something with my hood here, I'm not sure. Pulling it up over here, I've realized that my transmission harness is still connected here. Instead of unhooking it here at the transmission, I'm just going to go over and disconnect the remainder of these plugs here. Let's see, I've got, looks like a few here, I've got one there, and then they're just kind of running on top of the intake right there, so I'm just going to remove those right now. I just disconnected those few connectors, and I've just pulled everything off the engine and laid it back over here out of the way for now. So now we're fixing to go ahead and just continue on lifting this thing. And you can see how much room there is up here. You know, there's not a whole lot, but it's got room to clear everything. And once I get up over the bell housing here, I'll have even more room to swing it over as much as I need to. Okay, I'm just going to show you that here it will fit, you know, with it coming up the exhaust manifold there and coming by this over here, that, you know, you do have enough room. And now I'm all the way up above the bell housing here, and I just had that rag there for keep it from banging against it. So now we're just going to go ahead and lift this thing on up enough to clear. We're coming on out of here now. And this hood will push up. I think I may have to take it. Yeah, I think it'll be alright. It's going to be alright. I've got enough room there. I'm fixing to start pulling it back anyways. Okay, there's a 8mm screw that runs into this hood here, right here. If you take that out, you can push this thing back as far as you want, and it'll just keep on going. So I've just took that out because I need a little bit more slack lifting up with my cherry picker there. How high I've had to lift this so far here, you can see, to clear this. So we're going to go ahead and pull it back now and get it setting off on the garage floor. I'm going to have to find me a tire or something. Up out of the van, and we're fixing to get it set down here on the floor, hopefully.